I came home early on a Thursday. My best friend had been staying with me for 2 months after his divorce. I gave him the guest room. He said he just needed a place to land. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere he could figure out what came next. I said stay as long as you need. That is what you say to your best friend. You do not count the days. You do not ask when they are leaving. You just open your door and trust that they would do the same for you. Thursday was the day I forgot something at work. A file. Nothing important. I almost did not go back for it, but I was already in the car. I walked in at 2 in the afternoon. He was supposed to be at work. He was not at work. He was in my bedroom. My bedroom, not the guest room. He was standing by my dresser. My wife's side. He was holding something. A piece of paper. A photograph. I could not tell from the doorway. He did not hear me come in. I watched him for 10 seconds. His shoulders were tight. His head was down. He was not looking through my things casually. He was searching for something specific. I said his name. He turned around. His face went white, then red, then something I could not name. He did not say anything. He just stood there with whatever he was holding still in his hand. That was when I knew. He was not recovering from a divorce. He was waiting for something else. And whatever it was, he had been waiting for in my house. In my bedroom. While I was at work. Marcus called me on a Tuesday night. His wife had left him. He said he needed a place to stay. Just a few weeks. He sounded lost in a way I had never heard before. I said yes without thinking. That is what you do for your best friend. You do not ask for details. You do not check references. You just say yes. He showed up with 2 suitcases and a story. She was cruel. She was cold. She had been cheating. I believed every word. He was my best friend. We had known each other since college. He was the best man at my wedding. I was the best man at his. We had history. That history made me trust him in a way I trusted almost no one else. My wife, Lena, was less enthusiastic. She liked Marcus, but did not trust him. She said he was too smooth, too charming, too good at telling people what they wanted to hear. I said he was going through a hard time. She said hard times show you who people really are. I thought she was being cynical. She was not. She was paying attention. I was not. The first few weeks were fine. Marcus was quiet. He stayed in the guest room. He went to work. He came home. He watched TV in the living room. He did not ask for much. He was the easiest house guest we had ever had. Then things changed. He started staying home from work. He said he was depressed. He said he could not face his desk. He said everyone at the office knew about the divorce, and he could not stand their pity. I believed him. I brought him soup. I told him to take his time. I was trying to be a good friend. He started being home when I left for work and home when I returned. He started making comments about Lena. Small ones at first. How she looked in the morning. How she laughed at something on TV. How she made coffee the way his ex never did. I told myself he was just lonely. He was just noticing things because he had been deprived of kindness for so long. I told myself a lot of things. I did not want to see what was right in front of me. A man who had stopped being a guest. A man who had started watching my wife. And a husband who was too busy trusting to notice. Lena started mentioning things. Small things at first. Little observations that I dismissed because I did not want to hear them. Marcus knew her schedule. He knew when she worked from home on Tuesdays. He knew when she went to the gym on Thursday nights. He knew what she liked to eat for breakfast and what she drank in the afternoon and what shows she watched when I was not there. I said he was staying in our house. Of course he knew. He lived with us. He saw things. Lena said he knew too much. He asked too many questions. I asked what questions. She said he asked about us, about our routines, about when we were both home and when we were not. He asked it casually, like he was just making conversation. But he asked the same questions multiple times, like he was checking, like he was mapping. I told Marcus to back off. I pulled him aside after work one night. I said, Lena feels like you're watching her. He apologized immediately. He said he was just lonely. He said he missed having someone to talk to. He missed his wife. He missed his house. He missed his life. I felt bad for him. I told Lena he was just going through something. She said, I hope you were right. She did not sound convinced. She sounded like someone who was waiting to be proven wrong. Marcus started waiting for Lena in the kitchen in the mornings. He made her coffee. Not for me. Just for her. He asked about her day. He laughed at her jokes. He stood closer than he needed to. I watched all of this. I told myself he was being friendly. He was grateful. He was trying to contribute. But something felt wrong. The way he looked at her. The way his eyes followed her around the room. The way she stepped back when he got too close. She was uncomfortable in her own kitchen, in her own home, and I was standing right there, watching, not saying anything, not doing anything, just telling myself I was imagining things. That Marcus was my best friend, that he would never, that I was being paranoid. That was the lie I told myself every morning while Marcus poured my wife a cup of coffee and asked her what time she would be home. I asked Marcus about Lena directly. I waited until Lena was out of the house. I sat him down in the living room. I said, "Are you interested in my wife?" He laughed. He said, "She is your wife." I would never. He looked me in the eyes. He did not flinch. He seemed honest. He seemed like my best friend. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. I told Lena what he said. She said of course he denied it. What else would he say? I asked what she wanted me to do. She said, "I want you to ask him to leave." I cannot do that. He was my best friend. We had known each other for 15 years. He was recovering from a divorce. He had nowhere else to go. His family lived across the country. His other friends had all drifted away. I was all he had. I told Lena to give him more time. She said she had given him 2 months. That was enough. We fought. The first fight we had about Marcus. It was not the last. She accused me of choosing him over her. I said I was not choosing anyone. I was just trying to be a good person. She said being a good person did not mean being a fool. I told Marcus to start looking for apartments. I said it gently. I said, "I love having you here, but Lena needs her space." He nodded. He said he understood. He said he would start looking. He did not. I asked him a week later. He said the market was expensive. He said he was not ready to live alone. He said he needed more time. I told Lena. She did not say anything. She just looked at me. That look was worse than words. I knew what she was thinking. He is never going to leave. Not on his own. He is going to stay here as long as you let him. And you are going to let him. Because you are afraid of being the bad guy. She was right. I was afraid. Afraid of losing my best friend. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of accusing an innocent man of something he did not do. But I was not protecting Marcus. I was protecting myself from the possibility that my best friend was not who I thought he was. And that possibility was becoming harder to ignore. Marcus started leaving things in our room. A book on a nightstand. A sweater draped over the chair in the corner. He said he was just reading in the chair because the guest room light was too dim. I asked why he was reading in our room at all. He said it had better light. I told him to stay in the guest room. He said yes. He did not listen. The book appeared again the next day. The sweater the day after that. Lena started locking our bedroom door when she was home alone. She did not tell me. I found out by accident when I came home early and could not get in. I asked why she locked it. She said because Marcus walks in without knocking. I asked when. She said 3 times. She was working from home. She heard the door open. She looked up. Marcus was standing in the doorway. He said he was looking for me. He knew I was not there. I was at work. He knew my schedule. He had been living with us for months. He knew when I left and when I came back. He was not looking for me. I confronted Marcus again. I found him in the kitchen. I said, "Do not go into our bedroom." He said he was just looking for me. I said I was at work. You knew that. He did not have an answer. He just looked at me. His eyes were different, harder, colder. I had never seen that look before. The charming friend was gone. In his place was someone I did not recognize. I told Marcus he had 30 days to leave. I said it calmly. I said, "You need to find your own place." He said, "You're kicking me out." I said, "I am asking you to leave." There's a difference. He did not say anything. He walked to the guest room. He closed the door. Not slammed, just closed. Quietly, like he was closing something inside himself. I stood in the kitchen, and I realized he had never seen himself as a guest. He had never seen himself as someone who was crashing on a couch until he got back on his feet. He saw himself as someone who belonged here, in this house, in this life, maybe even with my wife. I did not know how long he had been thinking that. I did not know what he had been doing in my bedroom when I was not home. I only knew that I had waited too long to ask, and now I was afraid of the answer. I came home early on Thursday. I forgot a file. Nothing important. I almost did not turn around, but I was already in the driveway. I walked in at 2 in the afternoon. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Marcus was supposed to be at work. He was not at work. He was in our bedroom, my side of the bed. He was standing by my nightstand. He was holding my phone. His back was to me. He did not hear me come in. I watched him scroll. His thumb moved up the screen slowly. He was reading my messages, my texts with Lena, the private ones, the ones about him, the ones where she begged me to ask him to leave, the ones where I defended him. He was reading all of it. I said his name. He turned around. His face went white, then red. He dropped the phone on the nightstand. It made a loud sound against the wood. I asked what he was doing. He said nothing. I asked why he had my phone. He said it was ringing. He was going to answer it. The phone was not ringing. I picked it up. No missed calls. No notifications. He was lying. He had been caught, and he was still lying. I asked again. He put his hands up like I was pointing a gun at him. He said he was just curious. I asked curious about what? He did not answer. He just stood there with his hands up and his mouth open and nothing coming out. I told him to leave. Now, not in 30 days. Now. He said, where am I supposed to go? I said, I do not care. He grabbed his jacket from the guest room. He walked out the front door. He did not look back. He did not say sorry. He did not say anything. The door closed. The house was quiet again. A different kind of quiet. Lena came home an hour later. I was sitting on the couch. The phone was in my hand. I told her what happened. She was not surprised. She sat down next to me. She said she had been waiting for me to see it. I asked why she did not tell me more clearly. She said she did. I did not want to hear it. She was right. She had been telling me for weeks, months. I had been making excuses. For him. For myself. For my blindness. I had chosen my best friend over my wife. And my best friend had been going through my phone, reading my texts, looking for something. I did not know what. I did not know how long. I only knew that I had let a wolf into my house and called him a guest. And now the wolf was gone. But the damage was already done. I changed the locks that night. I drove to the hardware store at 9 p.m. I bought 2 new deadbolts. I installed them myself. I did not ask Marcus for his key. I did not want it back. I just wanted to make sure it would not work anymore. Lena watched me from the kitchen doorway. She did not say, I told you so. She just handed me the screwdriver when I needed it. She held the flashlight. We did not talk much. There was nothing to say. I had chosen my best friend over my wife's instincts. I had dismissed her discomfort as paranoia. I had told her she was overreacting. I had been wrong. And now my best friend had been caught going through my phone in my bedroom while I was at work. Marcus texted me the next day. I'm sorry. I was not myself. Can we talk? I did not respond. He called. I did not answer. He sent a long message. Paragraphs. About his divorce. About his loneliness. About his confusion. He said he did not know what he was doing. He said he was not thinking clearly. He said he needed help. I read the whole message. I did not reply. Lena asked if I was going to forgive him. I said I did not know. I did not even know what he was doing. Forgiveness requires understanding. I did not understand. I did not understand why my best friend had been going through my phone. I did not understand what he was looking for. I did not understand how long he had been doing it. I went to my phone logs. Checked the screen time. Checked when the phone had been unlocked while I was sleeping. Multiple times. Late at night. Early morning. His fingerprints were all over my digital life. He had been going through my phone for weeks. Maybe longer. Looking at my messages. My photos. My contacts. The things I share with my wife. The things I share with no one. He had been collecting information. About me. About Lena. About our marriage. I asked Lena if she had noticed anything missing. She said no. But she said he was not looking for things. He was looking for information. About us. About our marriage. About whether it was strong or weak. About whether there was something he could use. I sat on my couch with my phone in my hand, and I realized I had no idea who Marcus really was. The man I call my best friend was a stranger, and he had been living in my house for 2 months, sleeping in my guest room, eating my food, watching my wife. going through my phone. I had been blind. Now I was just angry. I agreed to meet Marcus. A coffee shop. Neutral ground. I did not want him in my house again. I did not want him near Lena. I got there early. I watched him walk in. He looked smaller than I remembered. Thinner. More tired. The charming friend was gone. In his place was someone who had been carrying something heavy for too long. He sat down across from me. He apologized again. I did not say anything. I just waited. I asked what he was looking for on my phone. He looked at his hands. He said proof. I asked proof of what? He said that Lena was cheating on me. I stared at him. The words did not make sense. Lena, cheating, on me. I asked why he thought that. He said because his wife cheated on him. He said after that, he thought everyone did. He thought it was only a matter of time. He said he was trying to protect me. He wanted to find out before I got hurt. I asked if he found proof. He said no. I asked if he found anything. He was quiet for a second. Then he said he found that I was happy. He said he did not know what to do with that. He had been looking for cracks, for evidence that my marriage was as broken as his. He found none. I asked why he needed to find something wrong. He looked at me. His eyes were wet. He said because if I was happy and he was not, then his divorce was not bad luck. It was his fault. It meant he had done something wrong. It meant he had driven her away. He could not live with that. So he needed me to be broken too. That way we could be broken together. That way he was not alone. He was not trying to hurt me. Not exactly. He was trying to make his own pain make sense. He wanted me to be miserable so he would not have to face the possibility that his misery was his own doing. That was not friendship. That was using me, borrowing my phone, going through my messages, invading my privacy. All of it was just him trying to avoid looking in the mirror. I sat across from him in that coffee shop, and I felt something shift. Not forgiveness, not anger, just clarity. I understood him now, and understanding him made me see that I could never trust him again. Not because he was evil, because he was desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. He had used my trust as a tool. He had used my home as a hiding place. He had used my wife as a character in a story he was telling himself. I stood up. I said I hope he get help. I left. I did not look back. I told Marcus I could not be his friend anymore. I said it standing in the parking lot of the coffee shop. He had followed me out. He was crying. I was not. I said it was not because he went through my phone. It was because he wanted me to be unhappy. A friend who needs you to suffer so they feel less alone is not a friend. That is a hostage situation. You are not showing up for someone. You are feeding their need, and you will keep feeding it until there is nothing left of you. He said he would change. He said he would get help. He said he would do whatever it took. I said change for yourself. Not for me. I am done watching. I got in my car. He called my name. I did not turn around. I drove away. I watched him get smaller in my rearview mirror until he disappeared. That was the last time I saw him. Lena was waiting for me at home. She asked if I was okay. I said I lost my best friend. She said I did not lose him. I found out who he was. She was right, but it did not hurt less. Knowing the truth about someone does not erase the years you thought you knew something else. I thought about all the dinners, the trips, the late-night conversations where we talked about our fears and our dreams and our marriages. Had he always been waiting for me to fail? Had he always been watching for cracks, collecting information, storing it away for later? I did not know. I did not want to know. Some questions are better left unasked, because the answer might destroy whatever is left. I sat on my couch. Lena sat next to me. We did not talk. There was nothing to say. I had let a wolf into my house. I had called him a guest. I had dismissed my wife's warnings. I had chosen him over her again and again. And now I was left with the silence where my best friend used to be. It was a strange silence. Not peaceful, just empty. Like a room where someone has died and no one knows what to do with their things. I did not know how to mourn someone who was still alive. I did not know how to stop wondering if he had ever really cared about me at all, or if I had just been a place to stay, a source of information, a character in a story he was telling himself to avoid the truth about his own life. I would probably never know, and I would have to learn to live with that. It has been 6 months. Marcus texted me last week. He said he was in therapy. He He said he was sorry again. He said he hoped I was doing well. I read the message. I did not respond. Not out of anger. Out of exhaustion. I have nothing left to give him. He took enough when he was in my house. He took my trust. He took my peace. He took the version of me that believed friendship meant never having to lock your bedroom door. I'm not that person anymore. I cannot be. That person almost lost his marriage. Lena and I are fine. Better than fine. The Marcus situation made us talk differently. More honestly, there is no room for secrets when you have seen what secrets can do. She told me she was afraid I would choose him over her. I almost did. I told her that. I told her I had been blind. I told her I was sorry. She said, but you did not choose him. I said, not in the end. She said the end is what matters. I'm not sure that is true. The middle matters too. The middle is where I failed her. The middle is where I chose my friend over my wife. I will carry that. Not as guilt. As a reminder. I think about the Thursday. The phone in his hand. The way he looked at me. Not like a friend. Like a stranger who had been caught. I should have seen it sooner. The signs were there. Lena pointed them out. I ignored her. I wanted to believe he was the person I thought he was. He was not. That is not his fault entirely. I wanted to believe. He just let me. He let me believe in a version of him that did not exist. And I was grateful for the lie because it was easier than the truth. I do not have a best friend anymore. I have a wife. I have a house with new locks. I have a life that does not include a man who needed me to be broken so he could feel whole. That is enough. That is more than enough. Marcus is someone else's problem now. I hope he gets better. I hope he finds someone who can help him without being destroyed. But that someone is not me. I'm done being used. I am done being the person who says stay as long as you need without asking what you are doing in my bedroom when I am not home. I am done. Finally, am over at where silence ends. Have you ever let someone into your home only to realize they were never really there for you at all?